All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are back for another week of Just a Fan podcast. What's up? What's up? What's up? All right, hey, we are officially less than 24 hours away from our game one kickoff. Game one kickoff. How y'all feeling, gentlemen? Y'all ready for the game tomorrow night?
Let's go. Let's get it.
Let's get it. All right. So let's get the show started. NFL season, let's talk. Week one is now. Coach Williams, the NFL Encyclopedia. Panel 316 got direction. The good guy with the black hat. And so it begins. Down below, Steve White, the inventor of the show and the one who be space age forever, baby. All right, let's kick this thing off with a contract extension. And I like this right here. 'Tis the season. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tell them, Cleveland. Tell them. 'Tis the season. All right. So let's start off with a contract extension up in the mountains of Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh Steelers have given not only a contract extension to Cam Hayward, but this is this the most money given to any football player in NFL history that's over 35 years old, okay? Over the age of 35 years old, from what I understand, which to me still sounds crazy, but whatever. Maybe non-quarterback. But anyway, 3 years, $45 million extension, $16 million guaranteed. How do y'all feel about this?
Well, Cam Hayward was a perennial All-Pro, Pro Bowler one of the years that he's healthy. And let's just be honest. And I know I hadn't been a favorite person of the Steelers fandom right now because I've been telling them that they wasn't going to get Brandon Ayuk and they didn't. And now I'm going to say it again. The Pittsburgh Steelers are grasping at straws to try to stay relevant in the NFC North, AFC North, excuse me. So at this point, you gotta, hey, what up, E? You got to sit up here and look at it as like, okay, we're trying to go all in on what we have. We've been trying to improve. We've been trying everything that we possibly can do to try to keep pace with the Ravens and the Bengals and the upstart Browns. So right now, yeah, I mean, why not pay him? You're not going to pay Brandon Ayuk because he's re-signed with the Niners. So there's that. I'm gonna say that a bunch of times because we're gonna get to that later. Because I've always said I'm not always right, but I'm more right than I'm wrong, and I've been saying it. So we're gonna get to that in a second. But Cam Hayward does deserve the money that he gets. He's an outstanding defensive tackle. He's very underrated. Because he had to play in the shadow of Aaron Donald. He played around that same time, all these other guys that had bigger names and stuff like that. But he has been consistently good. No, I'm not going to cheat the man. He's been consistently great for most of his career. So he deserves that money. And he's the anchor of that defensive line, that defensive front in Pittsburgh. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, his production when he plays is still there for them. And, I mean, that's what I think his value is to the team. I can't be mad at it. I mean, he's a fan favorite. He performs when he plays. He's a little older, but I mean, it feels worth that. And I mean, I respect it. It's a good deal.
Yeah, I think again when you are not expected to do much, as a team, you got to do whatever you can to remain relevant. Because, bro, the AFC North is probably the best division, not in their conference, but probably in the NFL in football right now. And the Steelers are not. I ain't bashing them because I want you to be clear when I say that I think that the Steelers are a good team. Just where they are in the division they are in, they're the least team in my opinion. They're the underdogs in that division. Now you stick the Steelers in another division, and we might have a different conversation. But because they're in the division they're in, like nobody really checking for them. So sorry, Steelers fans.
No, and you're right because I mean we have talked about this ad nauseum. The AFC is just loaded. AFC is loaded, and that division is loaded itself, like you said, Baltimore mainly and Cincinnati, and we'll see what happens with Cleveland because this really depends on Deshaun Watson a lot, and I mean a lot. But yeah, man, of course, if he's like in the NFC, if Pittsburgh's in the NFC South, they would definitely have probably the best chance of winning the division down there.
Yeah, if they were in the South, I'd say they're gonna win that division.
Yeah, so
in the NFC South.
Oh, NFC South. Okay.
In
NFC, no, not AFC, not AFC. No, man. Houston down there. Hey, listen. I ain't messing with Houston.
So I was like, you said AFC, NFC. Okay.
Yeah, right. NFC. No, I'm not messing with Houston. No, I am not crossing that road. No, sir. Anyway, but no, Cam Hayward, he is the son of one of my favorite NFL players of all time, Craig Hayward, aka Ironhead. Rest his soul. Craig played for University of Pittsburgh and then played in the NFL for different teams. And now, he's in Pittsburgh playing for the Steelers, been there for a very long time. Like I say, he's 35 years old. And, that defense has been solid. Now, is it the defense that we know from, just recently from the Dick LeBeau days when it was Harrison, Hampton, Polamalu, Clark? No, it's not those guys anymore, but still a solid defense with him, TJ Watt, Minkah Fitzpatrick. They've had a revolving door. They've had a revolving door inside backer, though, man. They have had a revolving door inside backer probably the last, I say about 4 or 5 seasons at least. And so I think that's probably one thing that's probably stopped their defense from taking the next step because they just have inside backers in and out. But they still have good players. I don't know. I think eventually Pittsburgh just may have to go through a rebuild, man.
That's what they keep trying to avoid, and
they are trying to avoid a rebuild.
And I completely agree with you on that.
They need to rebuild because they are doing this quarterback thing, man, and it's like I know I'm going off a different topic, but just Russell Wilson, that whole Wilson and Fields thing is just crazy.
Yeah.
You got a couple of good running backs. You have one receiver, but you never know. He might be a high head away from being like suspended for a few games. And the defense, like I said, it's not what it used to be, man. No. It's not what it used to be. So
you got Cam Hayward, Minkah Fitzpatrick, and TJ Watt. And then after that, it's kind of like, okay, there's some decent guys, but there's nobody that makes that.
And they keep getting older every year.
And Joe, to your point, you said Mike Tomlin stays 500 above 500 every season. That's absolutely right. That's all the more reason to blow it up and then rebuild the team with the same coach. We're not blaming Mike Tomlin. Right. Mike Tomlin is performing miracles with what he has.
Yes.
So if you imagine what he could do if he actually had more talent. So they keep patching here and patching there and doing this instead of. And Titus, instead of actually, Just saying, okay, let's put up a whole new wall. Let's stop spackling here and there and putting plaster and repainting. Let's go ahead and knock all the drywall out and put up a whole new wall.
Yeah.
They're basically filling in cracks and and spackling and this, that, and everything else. So if they've got to recognize if they're going to be competitive in this division, as competitive as this division is, they're going to have to blow up and do some retooling.
Yeah, because I'm sorry to cut you off, but Burrow and Lamar Jackson are both in their prime right now.
Yeah.
Both are in their prime right now.
And the Kenny Pickett, I think they tried. No, I just said, Joseph, no. I just said you rebuild the team and keep him.
I agree.
That's what I just said. We just said keep him. Tomlin is not the problem. That's what we just said. But you gotta blow it up and rebuild, man. Like you keep trying to, fix cracks and stuff, and just put up a whole new wall. Stop it. And they got to recognize that. And Steelers fans are going to recognize they've been good for so long or above average for so long. They may have to take a step back to spring forward. They're so afraid of going, we're going to go under 500. We're going to, you know what? You might have to do that for a season or two.
Yeah.
And jump forward. Keep that same coach. The Rooneys are the most non-coach firing organization
in NFL history.
In NFL history, they don't fire coaches. Okay? So they'll recognize, they got to recognize, hey, man, it's time to just go ahead and retool and just rebuild this thing. And we know we got the coach we like. We just got to give him something else to work with. Instead of trying to get a piece here and a piece there, you need to go ahead and say, all right, let's start over.
Yes.
Okay? Because giving Cam Hayward that money, I understand that because they are very loyal to their players and their coaches. That's one thing I can't say about the organization. But that's I'm kind of on the fence about it. I'm glad he doesn't, because I'm always pro player. So I'm glad he got his bag before he got ready to retire. But at the same time, it's like you could have spent that money on a younger player, done something else with that, So I'm on the fence about it,
Yeah. Yeah,
no,
I agree.
Steve, go ahead, get your take.
I agree. I think they just need to just be better at drafting, man. I mean, it's not Thomas' fault. He can coach clearly with whatever he gets.
Mm-hmm.
They need to put some more respect on Tomlin, man. I mean, I think it's that simple. And if he goes anywhere else and they give him more autonomy, he's gonna continue to be a problem in a good way as a coach.
Yeah. Like, I mean, he's one of the longest tenured coaches in the league at this point for a reason, and like Joseph said when he came on, thank you for tuning in, Joseph, by the way. Like he said before, it's like he's never gone below 500. And it's like, that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot. As long as he's been in the league, he's never gone below 500.
That is true.
And he got some ring. So it's like, okay, you gotta look at that and say, okay, let him stay. It's not him. He needs some more tools to work with.
Yes.
Get the man a quarterback first and foremost.
Yes.
But the Steelers never below 500, so they can't ever get one of the upper echelon quarterbacks in the league. You know what I'm saying? Because they're never below 500. They never have a high draft pick.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's like, So it's like, dang, what do you do?
That's the worst draft spot in my opinion to be.
Yeah. What do you do? Because it's like you need to have a high draft pick to go get you a good quarterback, unless you luck up and get somebody like a Brock Purdy or something like that. And I guess
7th round or Tom Brady in round 6 or Montana.
Tom Brady, right? Something like that, But those come along, once in a generation. That's Brady. Then 20-some years later, and let me be clear, I'm not saying that Brock Purdy is Tom Brady. So y'all chill out before y'all even say anything. Okay, but saying
no, but for Brock Purdy to be drafted as late as he was and have this kind of success is very, very rare. Right. Tom Brady was drafted in 2000. That was a long time ago. Right. Joe Montana was drafted in 79 or something like that?
In the 3rd round. Yeah.
In the 3rd round. So that's a long time ago. So yes, you're right with what you're saying.
It's generational. Yeah. So it's like it happens once in a generation. Somebody comes along, especially at the quarterback position.
Yes.
So
speaking of rebuilding.
Yeah.
The Denver Broncos, I feel like on the rebuild mode.
I love that segue, by the way. That was great. Keep going.
With Sean Payton building this Broncos team in this image, that at least that's what it's attempting to do. But they have given PS2 cornerback Patrick Surtain II a 4-year, $96 million contract extension. That happened earlier today. $77.5 million guaranteed. He's the highest paid DB at $24 million a year, surpassing safety Antoine Winfield Jr. at $21 million, or $21.025 million, and then cornerback Jair Alexander at $21 million. So PS2 is the highest paid DB, period. How do y'all feel about PS2 getting his money?
Steve, I'm gonna let you go first, and then I'm gonna get my take.
It's well deserved. I know you're taking it. I'm not gonna steal it. But that's well deserved. He's a beast. If they have the money to do it, he's earned it. I mean, happy for him. He's one of the best in the biz. I'm not mad at it. Go ahead, Eve.
Oh, okay. So here's the thing. We know Patrick Surtain is by far one of the best corners in the league. I was just talking to one of my friends in one of my chat groups. He was like, why they gave him all this money there? And I said, because he's that good.
Thank you.
We don't recognize it because he's on an awful team.
Right.
I said, now, if you're going to start a rebuild, because, that was speculation that they was going to trade him away because they know that they're rebuilding.
Yeah. Right.
So it's like, why not go ahead and trade him away, get a bunch of draft picks, parlay it in the draft picks, try to build a team, which is what I would have done if I was Denver. Because honestly, Denver needs to just have a fire sale and start over.
Right.
But this was a surprising move. Yeah, because he's young, Titus. Yes, because he's young, I would have traded him away. But this is a surprising move because they've dedicated themselves long term to him. And basically, they're making the statement of just by these actions, they're saying we're going to build our entire defense around this corner, that's a different way of going. That's a very expensive PS2.
Hey y'all, this is the most expensive PS2 ever.
Yeah, so he's very expensive, but I think that they're by making that move, they're making a statement of saying that we are dedicated to building everything else around him.
Yes.
And they've just drafted a quarterback. I don't believe that's who they really wanted, but they're going to make the statement of saying we're going to build everything around this quarterback that we just drafted. And they're going to go from there. So we're going to see how this pans out. But Patrick Surtain, congratulations, dog. You got your money. You deserve it. You're one of the best corners in the league. You're paid like you're the best corner in the league now. So it's going to be really interesting because I want to see what Sauce Gardner is going to ask for.
Well, and to add to that, you're also talking to players. You're showing other players that you appreciate your current ballers, right? You take care of who you drafted, a homegrown stud in PS2. You're showing the league and future draft picks that you take care of your own if they perform. You can rebuild and not blow up. People confuse rebuilding with blowing up, right?
Yeah.
He's a young core player that you have to take care of and keep in place if you want to be successful at some point in the future. Yeah,
I think so. I think put that other comment up, that last comment up, Brandon. So Eric, here's the thing, bro. He could blanket one side of the field. They ain't gonna cover all them receivers. Like seriously, KC still gonna motorboat them. They're gonna boat race them. Excuse me, I said motorboat them. That is awful. I'm gonna retract that statement. What I just said. I just realized what I said. They're gonna boat race them. They're gonna boat race. They're gonna boat race them. That's why we need a Patreon. But they're gonna boat race them. Somebody's gonna watch this much later. Gonna be like, they're gonna do what? But no. But they still go boat race because they're not gonna be able to come on. And this Pat Mahomes we talking about. So, but yes, he gonna blanket one of them receivers. PS2 gonna take away. Yes.
Look, man. Some teams know they're not gonna be that good, but you still gotta pay people. And you still gotta play games and put something on the field that fans want to see.
We do not. We don't want to. No, we don't. Yeah. That was a Freudian slip. I apologize for that.
But Denver, like I said, they in rebuild mode. Okay. And it's complete rebuild because, last year they tried with Russell Wilson. It didn't work out. He's in Pittsburgh. Okay. They got rid of certain defensive players last year, including Randy Gregory, the headliner, Steve's favorite player of all time. Because guys were not disciplined enough on defense. So whoever they just got rid of, like I said, Gregory and a couple other players. And so now they draft Bo Nix. Bo Nix is a quarterback that really fits what Sean Payton wants to do, try to keep that offense in rhythm. Okay. It may not be, they probably wanted Michael Penix and probably was shocked when Atlanta took him. But I think they don't mind Bo Nix compared to some of the other quarterbacks that came out this year because of the kind of quarterback he is. Bradley Chubb was let go, I think, before Sean Payton got there. I think he was let go before Sean Payton got there, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. And let's see another comment here. Sean Payton is going to build the team to his liking. He's counting on developing the quarterback. Yeah, he is. He is counting on developing that quarterback. That's crucial. That's crucial. Bo Nix is crucial to this rebuild. If Bo Nix shows anything, and Trisha has said this before on the show, if Bo Nix shows anything, they're going to completely build around him.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I'm still about the Bo Nix experiment because that's what it is right now.
Anyway, Denver's in rebuild mode. They're building the offense. Now it's time to build around PS2 this coming off season, and we'll see what this team look like. You probably got to say 2026, man. See what they're like in 2026. And just watch them, see how they progress, and then maybe, like I said, they're probably ready in 2026. But right now, no.
We'll be here to cover it.
Yeah,
we'll be like, okay, so you remember back in 2024 we said, because I'm about to do that in a minute. Remember when I said it ain't gonna be that far back, but yeah, go ahead.
But anyway, speaking of teams in the West and not the AFC West, but now moving over to the NFC West, man, you talking about being busy in one calendar week. Somebody was very, very busy in one calendar week. Lord have mercy. Let's go over this stuff here. Okay, give me a second. You have a Brandon Ayuk contract extension, okay? And let me find the details on it. Here we go. Brandon Ayuk. 4 years, $120 million contract extension, $30 million a year. Okay? Then you got a Trent Williams, not a contract extension, but what they did was they gave him some guaranteed money. Okay? And that contract is now 3 years, $82.66 million, $48 million guaranteed. And they gave restructured Deebo Samuel's contract, which means they moved some money around into a signing bonus to create some cap space. Eric, we're going to let you go last on this one. Steve, you got anything you want to say about the 49ers?
I think it was a great deal for their best player. Purdy has to be paid soon, and he can't meet maximum production without Silverback over there left tackle. Great investment, great deal for Trent. His age, he won. A lot of it was signing bonus upfront cash. I ain't mad, man. I think Giants did a good job with that deal.
Yeah, Brandon Ayuk, we've mentioned how good of a wide receiver he is. For someone to put up the numbers he did, but not have the number of targets he has, says a lot about him as a receiver. He's one of the best in the league. $30 million is good money for him. Keeping Trent Williams, giving him guaranteed money so that way he can continue to play was smart because Brock Purdy needs someone to protect that blind side. Especially come playoff time, and Trent Williams is a very special left tackle. Very special left tackle. We got to see what San Francisco does, man, because like I said, San Francisco's been the best team in that conference for the last 4 to 6 years, man, easily. But I think right now they continue to be the best team in the conference. Now, Detroit did some things this offseason, especially within the last 2 weeks, that I love, okay? Them having Donovan Peoples-Jones, Allen Robinson, and Tim Patrick as their veteran receivers on the practice squad tells me that they're going to get those guys ready for the playoffs.
That's impressive. It's very impressive.
They're going to get those guys ready for the playoffs. But until Detroit beats San Francisco, I still got San Francisco 1, Detroit 2. But, I mean, San Francisco is a great team. Ayuk did not get traded after all, despite all the rumors. You know, Washington was mentioned at one time, New England was mentioned at one time, Cleveland was mentioned at one time, Pittsburgh was mentioned at one time. It turns out that, Cortland Sutton could have ended up in San Francisco while Brandon Ayuk could have ended up with a different team. And, it was just so much stuff going on. And, of course, Ayuk had that little discussion with Jane Daniels over the phone, FaceTime, whatever. But at the end of the day, the 49ers keep Brandon Ayuk. They give Trent Williams what he wants to keep him happy. And until otherwise, San Francisco's best team in the conference.
So let me start with this. When all of this drama started, and that was really right after the Super Bowl. Oh, Brandon Ayuk is just grown. His girlfriend is on the. His girlfriend is on there talking about this. It's gonna be our last season in San Francisco. This da 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 da. And his best friend, and he calls his brothers. This, that, and the third. Blah 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 blah. Oh yeah, by the way, that's Patrick Peterson. He's doing that on. But the funny thing is that. Oh, look at the block. See, that's why right there. That's what they paying for right there, the blocking. Because there's not a receiver that San Francisco could bring in that could block like that. That's the thing. But anyway, I digress. What I'm saying is that there were people talking about, oh yeah, he finna get traded. They gonna trade him. They ain't gave him a deal yet. They must go trade him. And I'm sitting up here the whole time. And if you go to our TikTok account, I did a video about that. I talked about how the 49ers procrastinate when it comes to paying their players. They've done it with they've done it with Nick Bosa. They've done it with Deebo Samuel. They've done it with George Kittle. They've done it with Fred Warner. Oh, they're not gonna pay him. And then you had some actual Niners fans that was talking about he's not worth $30 million. First of all, yesterday's price is not today's price. They had people actually talking about he was worth $20 million, and I'm like, so you're gonna pay him less than Nico Collins, who's a number 2, maybe 3 receiver in Houston. You're gonna pay him less than Michael Pittman, who, let's be real, he can't do what you're watching on your screen right now, or he deserves less than it was a few Devontae Smith and Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith, okay.
Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle, who are number 2 receivers. This is the number 1 receiver we're looking at on the screen. But I told them, I said, you can mark it. I said this, and you go back and look at the video. I posted this a long time ago. I blasted both the Niners and people that was talking about he gonna get traded. And I said, mark it. I said they're gonna get the deal done sometime between July and the end of August.
Uh-huh.
He's gonna get somewhere between 29 and 32.
Yeah.
What? When did he get signed, y'all?
Late August.
What was his AYP?
$30 million a year.
Thank you. Stop questioning me when I start talking about my team. Do not question me. I know what I am talking about. Okay? And I said this back. I think I made that TikTok in like May, maybe the beginning of June. And I said what was going to happen. When I said happened. So,
Yeah.
again, and people was arguing me down. I was just like, okay, just wait. Man, he's going to be gone. Just wait. Man, you crazy, man. They finna trade him. He going to the Steelers. No, he's not. He wants to play for a winning team. Oh, I'm sorry, Steelers fans. I know y'all really hate me right now. It's about the third time I done blast you. I'm just like, he wants to play for a winning. If you look at his press conference at the Super Bowl, he's like, what's important to you? Playing for a champion. He wants to get paid, but he also wants to play for a champion. He has an opportunity to be able to get back to a Super Bowl. He's not going to do it in Pittsburgh. He damn sure wasn't going to do it in New England.
New England was another team that was talked about.
New England offered him $32 million a year. He turned them down. I used to get turned down in middle school dances. That's how he got turned down. Okay, all right. So that's how he turned them down. Like no. Yeah. But we're gonna give you $32 million. You suck. Okay, no. So basically, he had always wanted to stay in San Francisco. A lot of people don't know this. His mother is a diehard San Francisco fan. He grew up a San Francisco fan. He's playing for his dream team. So did he want to move around if they wasn't gonna be able to pay him what they thought he deserved? Yes, because money talks and BS walks. He tweeted that. That's true. But at the same time, he didn't want to leave his favorite team. So,
man.
So they worked it out. I'm still very pissed off at John Lynch because, again, here's the thing: this could have been done in March. If they'd have offered him the original $26 million in March, this is before Jay Jetta got his deal. This is before Amon-Ra St. Brown got his deal. If they'd offered him 26, he'd have been one of the highest paid receivers in the league, and he'd have took it, and they could have saved $4 million. But then they want to play hardball with him late because they want to procrastinate. I'm an educator, okay? If I say my assignment is due on Friday, you try to bring it to me Tuesday after the Friday that was due, I'm gonna look at you like you crazy. Yeah. And why am I taking off 20 points? Because you late? That is. So it's that analogy, when you think about that. Moving on to Trent Williams, I think that was a boss move to make up for how long they procrastinated with Brandon Ayuk. They had to get Brandon Ayuk done before they had the money to move around for Trent Williams. And I thought that was a boss move because they cleared more space. Then they turned around and went back. Debo reworked his deal. The 49ers have $71 million just sitting there. And they're not going to spend much of it. You know why? Because they're going to roll it over to next year. And then the other revenue that's going to come in, because the cap's going to go up probably another $30 million again. And Brock Purdy going to get the bag. And maybe if they got some change left over, Charvarius Ward going to be able to get re-signed as well. So this was a boss move. I'm still pissed off at all of these movements. As a realistic Niner fan, I give it a C+ because of the procrastination, because they didn't have to spend as much as they did. But they got it done.
All right, cool.
Doors of the church are now open.
Now, I feel like eventually you get over it, but right now you probably just still, steaming a little bit, but you'll be all right. Moving forward.
I'm fine. I'm just capital.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, all right. So now, this past spring, we did 8 weeks of picking who we had ranked for each team in each division, and stuff has happened since a lot. So let's see if anybody want to make any changes. If you want to go,
because Pando 316 keep receipts.
All right, well just let me know what division you want to start with, because I don't care.
We're gonna do it in the order that we did. We're gonna start with the NFC South, and I will read who picked who. Okay, so I picked the New Orleans Saints. Tristan picked the Saints. Steve picked Atlanta. Brandon picked the Saints. And that's who we picked for the winners. The winner of the division. Second place, I picked Atlanta. Tristan picked Atlanta. Steve picked New Orleans. Brandon picked Atlanta. We all picked Tampa Bay for third, and we all picked Carolina for fourth.
Okay, Carolina stage 4, Tampa Bay stage 3.
But I feel some type of way.
Here's my okay. I like what Atlanta did recently, okay, because they made 2 moves.
Yes.
My problem is still Kirk Cousins. Because bringing in Matthew Judon gives them a pass rusher.
That they hadn't had in years.
And then Justice Simmons gives them a safety to pair up with Jesse Bates. And they got AJ Terrell corner. I wonder how long Kirk Cousins is going to be a starter. I wonder if he starts the whole season.
He gonna get either hurt or start throwing a bunch of picks, and they gonna give. He got a short leash. I tell you right now, because Michael Penix.
That's the way I feel. I feel like Kirk Cousins has a short leash.
Yeah, I think he has a short leash.
I feel the same way. I'm like, man,
especially since they went on a limb and drafted Michael Penix, and like Arthur Blank is gonna be like, hey, you just got this kid. This guy's thinking up the joint.
I don't know, man. I think he's gonna perform. I think Penix gonna sit and learn. I think he's gonna perform. I think it's gonna be Kyle Pitts' career year right here.
Okay. I'm agree with you to a certain extent. Kirk Cousins will perform, but it's not the kind of performing you making it sound to be. I think Kirk Cousins performs because of Kyle Pitts, because of B. John Robinson, because of Drake London. I don't think Kirk Cousins performs because he's going to take the next step in his career.
I said performs.
Right, that's what I'm saying, perform. He's going to perform because of other players on the team, not because of him.
So we're agreeing. It's never been because of him, obviously.
Okay. I just want to make sure we're on the same page because I'm like,
he gonna run for 200 yards again? No, he has weapons in Atlanta. He's at weapons in Minnesota. He's gonna perform.
So here's the thing. If I may interject, here's the thing. We all know that Kirk Cousins is like a great regular season quarterback. He is a fantasy god because he would put up numbers, especially when he has weapons, and he has weapons in Atlanta.
That's true.
But we know when the rubber meets the road and it's time to go to the playoffs and do something, we know he's a dud. Okay, so we're talking about in terms of just winning the division. So let's back.
That's my problem. Cause I'm like, yo, that defense, man, got better in Atlanta with those 2 moves. And but I'm struggling with Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins struggling with Kirk Cousins, y'all.
If somebody else was at quarterback, like, and I'm not saying it has to be Lamar Jackson or anything, but I just need somebody more. I feel more confident in than I do with Kirk Cousins, and I would definitely have no problem saying Atlanta.
Well, I mean, whether you like it or not, he's a top 12 quarterback in the league. Whether you or not, no matter what he does in the playoffs, he is. I mean, that's statistically he is. So
he's a what quarterback?
A top 12 quarterback. So he's better than most.
Because of the statistically what he does.
He's better than most. I mean, only a few teams make the playoffs and only 2 make the Super Bowl. So we can measure by him not getting to the big game, but he's a high performing quarterback in the NFL.
Who's the OC? Zach Robinson? Okay, come from the what you call it tree. Okay. All right.
We still waiting on you, Brandon. Because
this what I'm gonna do. This what I'm gonna do.
I already made my decision.
This what I'm gonna do.
Okay, what are you gonna do?
I'm at 51-49. I'm going 51 Atlanta, 49 New Orleans.
Okay, so Atlanta. Just say
So
Atlanta. Just say Jesus.
That's tough. God, that's tough. I'm gonna hate myself, but I feel like I'm gonna hate I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna hate doing this, but I'm gonna do it.
I don't think you will, Brandon. Listen, man. Come to my side. Listen, my pick is staying the same with Atlanta.
And I'm changing after these moves that Atlanta's made. I'm kind of changing my mind. I think New Orleans will still be good enough to make the playoffs, but I don't know if they win the division. Because they're just those two moves by themselves, the Judon and the Simmons move, is like whoa.
Yes.
And let's be real. So my Who Dat Nation friends, let's be real. Derek Carr has a tendency to either get sacked or throw one away.
Listen, man.
Yeah, so that's the thing, because you talking about Jesse Bates, you talking about AJ Terrell, and you talking about now Justin Simmons in the secondary for Atlanta, and you can roll coverage to whoever the other corner is.
And the thing is, Raheem Morris knows DBs, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so I just those, and then now you talking about a pass rush. They can get to the quarterback.
Yes.
So that's going to make him rush his throws, and then you got those guys sitting there waiting on.
And you still got Grady Jarrett at 3 tech.
Right. So
and they should be moving back to a 4-3, if I'm not mistaken, since Raheem Morris is now the head coach.
Right. So I just see Atlanta
if you
edging New Orleans by a couple of games, maybe.
Listen, man, watching a lot of Kirk Cousins in Washington and a lot of following him with the Vikings pretty heavy. If you have a good defense, if he has a good defense, which he's never had, really.
No, he had a good defense in Minnesota. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay. Most of his career, he hasn't had a good defense.
No, he had a good defense in Minnesota.
Well, not the whole time, but there was some times he did have.
Can I finish my statement, please? If he has a good defense and it takes pressure off of the offense and him having to throw 45 times a game, it's a good look for him.
And he does have Bijan Robinson in the backfield, and
which should help too.
And Tyler Algier. So he
he has Kyle Pitts, who's a fake me out tight end, but wide receiver who can throw the football to with ease.
He's just he's a big wide receiver. But yeah, so I think we've gone. Well, we don't know what Tristan would have to say, but I think 3/4 of us has gone with Atlanta for this division. Let's move on. AFC South. It was unanimous across the top. Houston. Now the discrepancy happens with the second team in the South. Because myself, I took Jacksonville. Tristan took Indianapolis. Steve took Jacksonville. Brandon took Indianapolis.
You said I took Indianapolis?
Yes, you took Indianapolis. And to be clear for everyone who's watching, we've already unanimously decided that Houston. I don't think.
Yeah, I'm not changing Houston.
Houston's going to win that division, but we're just talking about who could be the possible wild card if there's a wild card coming out of that division. That's why we've been entertaining it.
Hey, is Anthony Richardson going to stay healthy?
That's my question. That's not even my big question. Is if he's going to stay healthy? Is he developed enough?
That too.
That's my question. It ain't about his health. I'm just not sold on him yet. I've seen him run around. I mean, that doesn't impress me.
And see, that's my thing again, because here we go again with these big quarterbacks, the Cam Newton and Josh Allen. Yeah, we can run around. That's fine. I've seen quarterbacks run around my whole life. I have watched quarterbacks run around my whole life.
I'm just not impressed.
And they get hurt.
Until he shows me that he can read like CJ Stroud does, then I'm not impressed. Period.
Yeah, I might have to drop Indianapolis to number 3 and move Jacksonville up to number 2.
Steve, what say you?
I'm keeping my pick of Jacksonville. Keep my picks for the division.
Who's Jacksonville's wide receivers though?
I'm keeping my pick.
I keep my pick as Jacksonville as well.
This is terrible.
But we all pretty much are in agreement that Houston's gonna probably run roughshod over that.
Oh, we know that.
Yeah. So NFC North, this was kind of interesting. I picked Green Bay. I don't know what I was smoking that night. Tristan picked Detroit, Steve picked Detroit, and Brandon picked the Detroit.
I'm keeping Detroit.
Yeah, I don't know if I had, I don't know what I was doing, but yeah, I'm going to change my pick. I think it's going to be Detroit Lions. I do like Green Bay.
I do too.
I think they're what and what, but just in what Green Bay has, in what Detroit has done this offseason, since we made these picks, Detroit gets a little bit of an edge over Green Bay.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that turns that into a unanimous pick for Detroit to win the North. Yeah. So moving on. AFC.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Go back to NFC North.
Okay.
Where do I have Minnesota?
Third. I have Minnesota last, but
I think I might move Minnesota last because
Sam Darnold is
yeah.
I just can't. I cannot.
Yes. I'm sorry. Yeah, please move Minnesota down.
You know what? Yeah, I'll do that too. I spoke too soon. I'll do that too. Yeah.
So so that means we unanimously are going with the Bears in third place. Yeah. So yeah, we have the Bears in third, and Minnesota's dead last because Sam Darnold's a quarterback. So this is interesting, gentlemen. This is one of the ones where we are unanimous all the way from 1 through 4 in the division, provided that Tristan doesn't change anything. But we all have Detroit, Green Bay, Chicago, and Minnesota for the NFC North. All 4 of us.
Sounds good. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. All right, moving on. So AFC North. Okay. Unanimously across the top, we picked Baltimore.
Okay.
And second, we all picked Cincinnati.
Okay.
It only gets squirrely at third and fourth place, which honestly, this division, and the only reason why I'm entertaining this division for the third and fourth place is because it's a possibility that they can have 3 teams come out of this division going to the playoffs.
Okay. Where do I have Pittsburgh?
Brandon, you chose Pittsburgh dead last.
Okay, good. I'm keeping everything there.
Yeah, and I have them dead last too. Steve, you have Pittsburgh dead last as well, but Tristan has Pittsburgh in third. And Cleveland last. Yeah. So I think we're kind of on the same page with that. Tristan, you're not here to defend your pick or change your pick. So we can talk about it later. AFC East. This is the one that went kind of squirrely. Okay. AFC East, I have Miami. Tristan has Buffalo. Steve has New York. And Brandon has Miami.
Who do I have at number 1?
You have Miami.
Let's see. Yeah, I guess I keep Miami at number 1. I'm trying to see, did Miami do anything to make me want to change my mind? Did Jets do anything that make me want to change my mind?
They paid Mike McDaniel a whole lot more money.
They sure did. I know what my problem with the Jets is. Hassan Reddick still has not gotten his contract extension. It don't look like he's going to play either.
That's huge. That's huge.
Because you don't have a pass rush.
Because when we start getting into talking about these games coming up, that's kind of a, that's funny. But I still like Miami to win it, and I have the Jets second, the Bills third, and the Pats dead last. We all agreed on the Pats being dead last because they're dumpster juice. And let's be honest, if you're not from Boston, what's really a Patriots fan?
Thank you. Just like Seattle.
Yeah. So.
Yep.
Yeah. Now I have a friend who's actually from there. He's been a Patriots fan when they sucked, and then they got to the Super Bowl and got destroyed by the Bears, and then they sucked some more after that. He was still a fan during all that time. So I say I respect you. You're from the area, plus you were with them when they were trash. So he gonna be with him again when they're trash again. Okay, which is right now. NFC East. This is a funny one. I had Philly. Tristan had Philly. Steve and Brandon, of course, had Dallas. So let me see. Yeah. Are we doing any changes here?
I'm standing 10 toes down because I know I got Philly number 3.
Yeah, you do have Philly number 3.
That's why I'm standing. I'm standing 10 toes down with my chest out, with my back straight, and I'm standing on Mount Everest by my MF snow.
Come on.
Do you understand me? I am at attention. I am saluting my picks.
Okay.
I am standing 10 toes down.
Okay, so Steve, we know where Brandon stands. What about you?
I'm keeping my pick for Cowboys winning the division.
Okay.
I do not trust Philadelphia.
I actually am going to change my pick. I am going to also pick Dallas to win the division because I just don't trust Nick Sirianni. Even though Philadelphia has a more loaded roster.
It's not just Nick Sirianni, even for me. It's Kellen Moore, OC. I'm sorry to cut you off, and I don't trust Jalen Hurts, the quarterback. I trust Jalen Hurts, the running back. I don't trust Jalen Hurts, the quarterback.
I just by default am going to I'm going to go with Dallas because just Philly by default finds a way to mess stuff up. They just do. And they have this loaded roster. They probably had the second best roster in the conference behind San Francisco. But yeah, I just no. So Tristan's not here to defend that, but Donald V. But yeah, I'm gonna pick Dallas to win the East. Moving on, NFC West. Okay. We were unanimous all the way across the board. I'm sorry, this was the second division that we were all the way across the board from 1 through 4. We all picked San Francisco, then the Rams, then the Seahawks, then the Cardinals. Thoughts, gentlemen?
To me, no one's done enough to top San Francisco. No one has done enough to move the Rams. No one has done enough to move Seattle. No one's done enough to Arizona's not. Arizona got a couple of players that can probably catch the ball and make some noise. But until Kyler Murray shows me that he can be a quarterback,
that's the thing.
I can care less.
Yeah.
Listen, you talking about not trusting the quarterback? Come on, man. I know a guy in one of my leagues who drafted him high in fantasy.
And so I'm assuming you'll be wearing his skin as a trophy by the end of that fantasy.
Because I mean, let's go back over what happened when they gave the man a contract extension. They said put down the game system and you need to be in your playbook. That's the first time I've ever seen that happen to a quarterback. Now we've had some draft busts come through the NFL. Okay. We had Ryan Leaf. We've had Jamarcus Russell. We've had Achilles Smith, K. McNown, over and over and over again, okay? But I don't ever recall any of them saying, well, you need to put down the game system. Like, what are we doing?
Listen, whenever your contract clause has that you watch film, that's a problem there as a quarterback.
Right.
They have to tell you to watch film. That's a problem.
Thank you.
Yeah,
that should be understood.
That's just how dysfunctional the Cardinals are. When you have to tell, it's like telling someone as a music major to practice or go to your private lessons.
Yeah, it's no. You
what?
You got to show it for applied. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, but I know we got
a shame.
Heads, but yeah. So we all know that Arizona's dumpster juice. So here's the thing: with my pick, I'm keeping my picks the same with a caveat. San Francisco will probably still win a division, but not with as many wins as they had last year.
How many did you have last year?
How
many did you have last year?
Was it 13 and something, I believe? Yeah, I lost track of it. I just like, okay,
You guys probably won about 13, 14 games because Dallas won 12.
yeah, so we won like 13 or 14 games, but I don't think they win that many games this year.
And you're probably right. You're probably right, but
because, and I'm gonna get into that when I get to my picks. I'm gonna explain that too.
Okay.
But I still like San Francisco winning the division. I don't trust the Rams to stay healthy. But then again, I don't trust my team to stay healthy because we be leading the league in injured players for a couple of seasons. And,
well, here's the thing about the Rams. The Rams will. Trisha mentioned it when we did the NFC West. They'd be able to run the ball with the running backs they have. They have Blake Corum, and they have
Kyren Williams.
Kyren Williams, yeah. So they will be able to run the ball and protect Matthew Stafford on play action. That should help. But it's not really a lot going on there.
Yeah, so I see San Francisco like splitting with the Rams and then sweeping Seattle and Arizona.
I don't know if you ever split with the Rams.
Well, because we play them so early, which I'm going to get to. We play them like within the first 5 weeks of the season, I believe.
You may not split with them.
And we play them there. So even though they consider that, they still consider SoFi San Francisco South. I'm thinking we're gonna split with the Rams, and I'm gonna explain that when I get to my picks. We gotta finish this, but what's going on with San Francisco? But I still think they'll win the division, just not as roughshod as they did last year. They swept everybody in the damn. Well, they lost to the Rams because they had rested their starters, but we know what.
Oh yeah, I'm not counting that.
Yeah, we know what would have happened if they'd have played their starters. And it'd been dead Rams all over the field. It'll look like a sacrifice in the Bible. But anyway, AFC West. We were once again unanimous. Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, Broncos. All of us.
All right, I'm moving.
I'm moving. Okay. This is interesting.
I'm moving the Raiders down to 4.
Okay. So you think Denver's gonna get third in that division?
Because I'm not trusting the Raiders quarterback situation.
I like Gardner Minshew over a rookie.
I understand that. But also, how much longer is Devontae Adams gonna stay in with the Raiders too?
I agree.
So you think he'll be a trade deadline?
Yeah. Yes.
I agree. I'm with Brandon.
Yes. And yes, Bo Nix is a rookie, but I trust Bo Nix, the rookie quarterback with Sean Payton, more than I trust Gardner Minshew, the veteran with Antonio Pierce.
Okay, so I'm not necessarily agreeing with you, but I could see that happening. And what's going to be really interesting is where Devontae Adams gets traded to, because he's obviously going to want to get traded to a situation that's more of a winning team. So his destinations are going to be interesting.
Yeah, and now I would think
his potential destinations, I should say.
Well, of course, everybody's going to speculate the Jets because Aaron Rodgers is there. I don't know if it's going to be the Jets.
No, I don't think it will.
I think it's going to be an NFC team. I'm just trying to figure out who is that NFC team.
Unless the Raiders are just that stupid, which they've been really stupid in the last 20 some years. So
I'm not going to even go there with the Raiders right now.
The Raiders might literally trade him to like the Denver Broncos or something crazy like that. The Raiders do stupid stuff all the time as far as moves.
Hey, Raiders, y'all need a general manager. Why don't you call me? I can get y'all back to the top.
They're going to be in Atlanta or something.
Let's trade him to Kansas City. Yeah, it's a good move. Let's do that.
Listen,
he could. He could end up in Atlanta.
That's not a bad place.
Listen.
Because that would put him with some young guys who he can teach them become pros, and they would definitely win the division then.
Yeah.
Now, I like this comment right here. I agree with Brandon. Plus, Bo Nix is an older rookie, which he is, with more maturity than a typical rookie quarterback. That is so true, Eric James. That is so true.
I still like Gardner Minshew over a rookie. I don't care.
I get it. I get it.
34-year-old rookie. I don't care if they drafted your boy from Necessary Roughness, who's a 34-year-old rookie, freshman quarterback. I don't care.
I'm gonna say this.
Trust Gardner Minshew over.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this.
Okay.
I'm going off of the last preseason game that Gardner Minshew started against Dallas' second unit defense. they were getting smoked. It was the starters against second unit.
That is true. Their starters were getting smoked by Dallas second string.
Smoked. So there's no way I see him performing better against Chargers or Chiefs in that division, let alone the other AFC teams.
Are you changing your pick?
I am. Yep, I am. Just like
Raiders down to 4. Sorry, Denver's up to 3.
Okay.
And not to mention, like I just said, Sean Payton is building his team into his image. So it's more than just Bo Nix and Sean. He's putting his team into his image, man.
Okay. Well,
I know Pierce is supposed to be doing the same thing. I just trust the combination of Sean. I do. Sean Payton.
He just doesn't have the personnel in Vegas yet, man. He just doesn't.
No.
Okay.
He got some names though. He got a couple tight ends I like, a couple young tight ends I like.
Okay, so let's go into the segment that we've all been waiting for since the last NFL game was played in February. The DeSoto Eagles, they probably could. DeSoto ain't no joke. Or Duncanville.
Exactly what you talking about, man.
Or Duncanville, somebody like that.
But, yo, DeSoto. Hey, just real quick, man. Did y'all see the video for the DeSoto Eagles?
They're very, very good.
Huh?
They're very, very good.
Yo.
They're very good. DeSoto, Texas, yes.
Dude. What?
They're very good.
What?
But let's go into the this is the first week of Pando's picks.
That's right.
Okay. So now let me tell you something. Like I said before, and I'm gonna make it very clear, I have never gone below 500. In fact, I've been way above 500 every time I've made a pick every week. But for the year, I'm well above 500. The worst I've ever been is 500. So I'm gonna say it again. I'm not always right, but I'm more right than I'm wrong. So this first week, these teams are filling each other out. I could be wrong about a lot of these picks. A lot of them are going to be, but as these teams start showing who they are, like Maya Angelou says, if someone shows you who they are, believe them. So right now, we don't know who these teams are. We kind of got an idea. So with that in mind, Thursday night football tomorrow night, we have the Ravens at the Chiefs. Get your popcorn ready. It's going to be a good game. It's a rematch of the AFC Championship game. The Chiefs are at home. And I like the Chiefs over the Ravens in a squeaker. But again, that could go either way, honestly. But I still like the Chiefs. I do.
I think I might like Baltimore on that one.
Friday night, Packers and Eagles, and they play in Brazil. Okay.
With a lot of crime. Let's shoot them up, baby. Shoot them up, shoot them up, shoot them up.
I like the Green Bay Packers over the Eagles. That's probably an unpopular pick because I think the consensus is the Eagles right now. But I like Green Bay over the Eagles.
I love Green Bay over Philadelphia.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So this one here, I had to struggle with it because everybody knows who's been watching this show. And for those of you who watch it for the first time, I always do one pick every week that's called my Stone Cold Lock of the Week. And we still working on my graphic for that. So we may get it next week. But the Stone Cold, like Stone Cold Steve Austin. But this one is not going to be my Stone Cold pick of the week, even though it'll be really close. I have the New Orleans Saints over the Carolina Panthers. I think I am very confident that New Orleans will beat the Panthers. If y'all don't beat the Panthers, it's going to be a problem. Like, just this game. This is a game is what we call this next one's a who's it, what's it. This like we don't really care. It's the Vikings at the Giants because we both know they're going to both be dumpster juice this season.
What you call it?
The who's it, what's it. The who's it, what's it game. It's like we don't really care. But the Vikings at the Giants, I like the Vikings because Daniel Jones.
But Sam Darnold's going against that Giants defense, man.
Giants defense is pretty good. I don't know. The winner might win 2-0. I don't know.
Yeah, both teams are terrible.
Yeah, so I really don't know.
Part of the who's it, what's it.
The who's it, what's it game of the week. So that's the Giants and the Vikings is the who's it, what's it game of the week. So the next game is my Stone Cold Lock of the week, and that is the Patriots traveling to Cincinnati to play.
God.
That is the Stone Cold Lock of the week. Market Cincinnati is going to beat them. Okay. If you're going to put money on any game, here's the thing, folks. If you're just watching, and those of you who like to gamble, if I pick a Stone Cold Lock of the week, go ahead and put money on it. I have never been wrong since I've been on this show on my Stone Cold Locks. Okay. All right. Pittsburgh against Atlanta. Give me Atlanta because did they not choose Russell Wilson as a starter?
Yep. And Russell Wilson.
Yeah, give me Atlanta. Give me Atlanta.
Russell Wilson might have declined more than we thought.
I defended him all last year. That's over with. Okay. I did. I tried my best to stand up for Russell Wilson. Damn that. I'm not doing that anymore. Give me Atlanta over Pittsburgh. Atlanta's at home as well. Anyway, Texans over the Colts in Indy. Now, if the Texans are able to beat the Colts like I think they can, that means they're probably going to sweep Indianapolis because Indianapolis is not coming into NRG and beating this Texans team. Okay, so they're going to go to Lucas Oil and play Indy, and if they win this game like I think they can, cancel Christmas in the AFC South. Give me the Bills over the Cardinals. This was almost a Stone Cold Lock, but
I would say, yeah.
This was very close to being a Stone Cold Lock, but we know Josh Allen has a tendency to do crazy stuff and mess up stuff. And then, not really him, but the coordinator.
It's a whole new Bills team, too.
No, it's a different coordinator. Remember, because they fired Ken Dorsey and they replaced him with Joe Brady, and the offense was doing better.
Yeah, but Joe Brady has his issues as well, too. So I still like them to win. Because I think Kyler Murray is gonna go out there and do something dumb, like scramble around, commit a fumble, or throw a couple of picks. Give me the Bears over the Titans. The Bears are at home. Everybody's talking about bear down this, bear down that. You actually have some people who are Bears fans that think the Bears are gonna be like contenders. And I'm like, okay, put some brake fluid in that master cylinder and pump your brakes, Chicago. Okay. We ain't seen nothing that would indicate that. Preseason means absolutely nothing to me. I've seen teams get blown out in the preseason and turn around and get to the Super Bowl. So, yeah. But I do like the Bears beating the Titans. Give me the Dolphins over the Jags, the battle for South Florida. I think that the Dolphins are just – Mike McDaniel looks like he's a cocaine kingpin now. Have you seen him recently? That's neither here nor there, but it's hilarious how he looks. He looks like his name ought to be Tony Montana McDaniel. Hey, man. F you, man. But yeah, Mike McDaniel's offense is gonna be too much for Jacksonville because they struggle with that style of offense. They really do, which is why I got Jacksonville losing to Houston. It's the same offense. That's why San Francisco went in there and manhandled them last year. And there's more speed in Miami than there is in San Francisco or Houston.
You ain't lying because they gonna run.
Right. So I don't think Jacksonville's gonna be able to keep up. Give me Seattle over Denver. This was not going to be a Stone Cold Light because Seattle still has Geno Smith as a quarterback.
Yep.
And I'm gonna move on. The Chargers over the Raiders. I think Jim Harbaugh gonna come out the corner swinging. That's gonna be two hard-nosed coaches going at it with Pierce and Harbaugh, but I think Harbaugh's gonna pull it out.
Yep. My
next one is a pick'em game. For those of y'all who don't know, pick'em games, those means they could go either way. I have two. This is the first one. I like the Browns just because they're at home over the Cowboys. And their roster is a little bit more stacked. Zimmer is there as the defensive coordinator in Dallas, which is going to be good down the line, but it usually takes a while for defenses to gel in a new system.
Man, I can't wait for this Zim defense, man. I
Yeah,
can't wait. Now, here's my problem with Cleveland. Chubb is out. And I don't know who Deshaun Watson is going to be.
Yeah, that's a question. That's why it's a pick'em. That's why it's a pick 'em. That's why I have a pick 'em. So, but the Browns defense is still magnificent. So, and I'm not too certain about old Dalvin Cook and old Ezekiel Elliott being the running backs. And
they're not starting.
Rico Dowdle is?
Yep.
Okay, so now you got something to go by because I like Rico Dowdle. I think he's a good running back. So that's my pickup. Was one of my pick'em games. Give me the Commanders over the Bucks. For some odd reason, I just got more faith in Jaden Daniels than I have in Baker Mayfield. But it is early in the game, early in the season, and Baker Mayfield has a tendency to make people believe that he's good this time of year. So I don't know where they could go, but I still like Washington.
I think that could be a pick'em game, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it could, but I'm gonna go with Washington on the road. Give me the Lions over the Rams. The Lions are at home. The Lions went to the NFC Championship for the first time in never, and that place is going to be rocking. I think the crowd that's going to be there in the 3-1-3 is going to play the 12th man a lot in this game, and I don't think the Rams going to be able to handle that atmosphere at all. Because let's be honest, what's a Rams fan? But I like the Lions in that one. Not quite a stone cold lock, but I definitely like them a whole lot against the Rams. And then my last game is Monday Night Football. That's a pick'em game. That's the Jets versus the Niners. The Niners are at home. I'm picking the Niners, but it's a pick'em game, and here is why. And this goes back to my picks. Brandon Ayuk held out completely from camp. Trent Williams held out completely from camp. Okay, so what you have is going to be a learning curve for the Niners. They're going to start the season slow.
Man,
they're going to start the season very slow. And I think that they got enough to probably pull out a close one against the Jets because the Jets have an outstanding defense. They're going against Robert Saleh, who knows that the entire offensive personnel for the Niners at this point because he coached when they were all there. It's the same team. So he knows their ins and outs. He knows their deficiencies. So he knows how to coach against a team of players that he's been on staff with. So he's going to give them hell. And then, again, Brock Purdy getting back in sync with Brandon Ayuk, who has not played a down of practice or a game in the preseason, nor has Trent Williams. So this is going to lead to the 49ers having a slow start. Don't be shocked. Aaron Rodgers might play 5 plays this year. So don't be shocked if the 49ers don't win this game. They could start 0-1, honestly.
Man, yeah, I'm surprised you're doing panels picks week 1, man. I think every game's a toss-up week 1, to be, in my opinion.
I'm just going off. I'm going off of the data and what's been going on with the teams.
I got you.
And also, excuse me, Leonard Floyd is basically the guy who popped Aaron Rodgers' Achilles, and he plays for the Niners. He might pop the other one. I don't know. But if a Hassan Reddick was playing or going to play, Hassan Reddick was the person that messed up Brock Purdy's elbow. So that would have been interesting. But, yeah, I still like the Niners by that much. But it could go either way. I would not be shocked if the Niners dropped this first game. I think they're going to start slow. I think they're going to pick up momentum as the season goes on. Like, I think they're going to go under 500 within the first 5 weeks, honestly. And then just pick up momentum later in the season. That's why I think they still going to win the division, but it's not good. They're going to scrape and scratch. They won't be the number 1 seed this year. So those are my picks. Once again, to review: Chiefs over Ravens, Packers over Eagles, Saints over Panthers, Vikings over Giants, Bengals over Patriots, Stone Cold Lock, Falcons over Steelers, Texans over Colts, Bills over Cardinals, Bears over Titans, Dolphins over Jaguars, Seahawks over Broncos, Chargers over Raiders, Browns over Cowboys, Commanders over Buccaneers, Lions over Rams, and Niners over Jets.
All right.
Doors of the church are now open.
Here we go. that is it for Pando's picks.
Yeah, Tristan, I need my graphic for next week.
No. Anyway, we will be back next week after the first week of NFL football and preparing y'all for week 2 and more Pando's picks. Thanks for joining our show tonight.
Fantasy fans, may the odds ever be in your favor, fantasy players.
Yeah, I'm in 2 different fantasy leagues this year. So hopefully, we'll see how it goes. How many you in E?
I'm in 2.
You in 2? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we are currently live on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. You can follow us on IG, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitter. You can also listen to us on Google and Apple not Google. Apple and Spotify Apple and Spotify podcast. Sorry. Okay. Coach Williams, week 1 is now. Starts real soon. NFL Encyclopedia. Panel 316, the good guy with the black hat. I was about to say green hat. Lord have mercy.
No,
and so it begins. Steve, Space Age Forever White, the quarterback of the inventor of the show, excuse me.
Steve, I'm so sorry.
Space Age Forever. Good night, y'all. Peace.
Peace out.